I'll just hit on a few things. Of course, we're all excited that Sam is coming back, and other guys. Sam alluded to Jermaine Gresham and Trent Williams haven't announced yet, and the rest of the juniors. And Gerald McCoy already said a few days ago he was coming back, and we're excited about that, of course, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, it makes our team stronger with that experience and that kind of talent back for another year. But I think also it sends hopefully a clear message to other young guys out there that these guys value their experience in college. They value their education. Every one of them said that either graduating or being within a few hours of their degree made a difference, and they wanted to be at that point when they left school, because when you leave now, everyone says, oh, you can always go back. That's kind of hard when you have 4 years, 5 years down the road. You may have a family, you may have children, you're a lot older than everybody in class. It's not so easy. I think it's easier said than really done, and these guys value their education, and so that was part of their decision. The atmosphere that they compete in here was a factor. They see it as incredibly positive, and being with their teammates and us and the way we do things. And I think, too, they all see the value in another year of experience improving in their draft position. Every time you improve 5 spots, 8 spots, 10 spots, if you improve around, you have 3 or 4 times your money. And that's a factor. They all want to take care of their parents, or you want to be able to take care of your family. That second and third round money, you're going to take care of yourself, and that's about it. And you start getting into the first round, you're talking about taking care of some other people, and they want to solidify those positions and be in as strong a position as they can be when they enter the draft. Because when you do it that way, and you do jump draft positions forward, you really make a significant more amount of money, and you're more experienced and prepared for that atmosphere. And so they see the value in that anymore, and I appreciate those guys. And again, I think they're sending a great message to a lot of other young people in the value, of that last year and or going as far as you can in your college career. So again, we appreciate them and excited about it, and not just those guys, all our juniors. There's some other guys, the DeMarco Murrays, Chris Browns, that are excellent players as well, and goes on and on, that we're also fired up about being back. I'll take a few questions.
This is as big a recruiting day as signing day in February, right, for you?
Oh, I would say much bigger. A lot of times those guys that you guys project on signing day aren't quite what you thought.
Bob, what does this say about the alleged experts? Because you all along have maintained that you really can't put a lot of stock in what these guys say is who's 1, 2, or 3.
Well, I just think back, it's real easy for everyone to look back on a year ago. You just look back on where our guys were projected. The juniors that went out. And not one of them went where they were projected on TV or what everyone talked about. They went where their draft projection was. None of them were ahead of their draft projection. But the TV all had them above their draft projection. So that none of these people are in draft rooms. They don't, and you know how these guys are, these GMs and these guys who do the drafting, they don't want anyone to know who they like. Because then if someone finds out Bill Belichick likes this guy, you don't think that matters to the people picking in front of them? No one knows. Those guys are very secretive about it. And you can speculate all you want. And sometimes, there's some obvious guys that are, you could be correct about. But overall, I think it's, rarely does the TV monitor have it like it happens. I'm guessing here. I'm just from the little bit I watch of it.
Well, how do you get to the bottom line, or what you really believe is going to happen then?
Well, again, I think there's a lot of strong information that, to a degree, the NFL gives you a projection. And again, a lot of agents or people want to say, well, you can do better than that. I'm going to, in a month's period of time, I'm going to increase your 40 speed, or I'm going to change you this way, and all of a sudden you'll jump to here. And that doesn't happen very often. And in fact, it didn't happen for any of our guys a year ago. And again, when you look at second and third round, dollars and what those guys' contracts are compared to giving up school and or having the possibility to jump to a first round, I think they're giving up too much. And I think all coaches would tell you that. And again, the dollar figures are there for everyone to look at. They're drastically different. And again, I think the value of education needs not be lost here either when you go out early and give that up.
Well, Sam Bradford continues a trend. He's the 4th Heisman Trophy winner in the last 6 years to return to school the following season. Now, of the previous 3, neither won the Heisman that next year, but all played in the BCS National Championship game. Tim Tebow is the only one of the three who followed his Heisman season with a national title the next year.
So Sam Bradford today cements himself in the folklore of Oklahoma, not just a Heisman winner and a record-setting quarterback, but he's coming back for more. Brad Weinstein, Joe Shad, he says it's in his best interest to stay.
That was
what his dad.
That was what his dad, Kent Bradford, told me when I talked to him a couple of days ago. He said that Sam's decision would be not only in what is in his best interest now, but what's in Sam's best long-term interest. So that means that, yes, Sam Bradford would have been a high draft choice in the first round in this year's NFL draft, but is he best prepared to have a long and successful NFL career? And I think that Oklahoma coaches felt that he could add weight, get stronger. Yes, he's poised and accurate, but he can get better, become better prepared for the NFL draft. Maybe work a little bit under center, which is something he's rarely done in his short college career.
Yeah, maturity, too. Is maturity part of all of this? Is that what he's kind of suggesting? He's acting mature by saying maybe I'm not mature enough to play in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, Bradford is an unbelievably, remarkably mature guy. He's mature well beyond his years. And so this is, yes, a very mature decision by Sam Bradford. Also shocked that everyone's coming back for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Jermaine Gresham, who is a likely first-round draft choice, the tight end who starred in the championship game and showed off all his skills, he's coming back. Trent Williams, he's going to come back. He's the best lineman that Sam Bradford has. They're going to lose all their other offensive linemen. And Gerald McCoy, the defensive tackle, he'll come back. Bob Stoops has a remarkable track record in getting those juniors to come back. I think it's only 8 juniors have ever left Bob Stoops early in 10 years.
How does he do that, Joe? How does he get him to do it? I mean, he's pulling off a miracle here in Norman by keeping all these guys and having them.
Yeah, and again, he allows them to make the decision. I mean, in the end, it has to be their decision. It's not like he's pressuring them or overloading them with information. He's giving them some information, but in the end, he is allowing them to make the decision themselves, and all coming back at the same time. They're going to be good next year.
Recent years, we've had a number of Heisman Trophy winners come back. In this particular case, it feels different because of the numbers that he put up, and he's going to be a high draft pick. But Matt Leinart came back. We've got Sam Bradford coming back. We've got Tim Tebow. So we've got 2 Heisman winners now potentially playing each other again, and Jason White came back. But Jason White wasn't going to be a high draft pick. Is this coincidence now, or are you seeing a trend here that kids are more willing to play longer in college football?
No, I wish I could say that the trend is moving towards players coming back. Every now and then you get a Sam Bradford or Peyton Manning or somebody that comes back, but more and more you're going to see these youngsters leaving early, especially if and when there ever becomes a rookie salary scale, which you heard the reference to there during Sam Bradford's news conference. He will not be hurt by returning for another season. There's not going to be that rookie salary scale if he comes back one more year. But juniors are going to go hard, and Mark Sanchez of SC is probably going to go now too.
Joe Shad been reporting on all of the guys staying before we heard them officially announced. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks,